Hi Palak, good afternoon. How are you?
Sorry.
Yeah. Hello, Palak. Am I?
Hello.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are audible. Hi,
Okay.
sir. Good afternoon. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you.
Great, great.
Yes.
Can you tell us something about yourself?
Uh, Sir, my name is Palak Sharma.
Mm-hmm.
I am graduated in BTech Computer Science Engineering from City Institute, Jalandhar. And before that, I have done 3-year diploma in computer engineering. That is also from the same institute, City
Mm-hmm.
Polytechnic. And my all schooling is done from the modern school, Jalandhar itself. And I'm having experience in teaching, but now I want to start my career in IT industry.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay,
yes,
great, great. So, can you tell me the high-level test scenarios of a lift?
a lift.
Mm-hmm.
The high level test scenarios of the lift would be like um, first of all, like the power on off button is working properly or not,
Mm-hmm.
verifying the internal material, like interior and exterior of the lift is perfectly fine or not, and all the buttons of the floors are working properly or not, and how much time a lift is taking from going um, from one floor to another floor, and what is the response time, is the door opening and closing properly, are they taking too much time for closing and opening, and how much weight capacity of the lift, how many persons can stay in the lift, and how much weight it can contain, or
Mm-hmm.
what if the power is fluctuating, and is there any power backup, or a lift will be stuck on that time, or it will go to the ground floor, or to the nearest upper or lower floor, or the proper lighting is there, ventilation is there or
Mm-hmm.
not, and if there is any emergency, so are those like speakers and that phone service is working perfectly fine or not, and um, this much.
Okay, fine. I think this is good. Apart from this, you can also add test scenarios like you will be validating if someone is trying to enter into the lift when the door is about to close. So it should not get closed, it should open. So those kind of
Yes, yes, yes,
things should be working. And if someone wants to come out, so those things also should be working. Okay.
yes.
Now, what
How
is
much time the lift is taking?
correct?
How,
Correct. How
what
much?
is the response time? Huh.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that is good. Now, what is error guessing technique?
Error guessing technique.
Hmm.
So error guessing is a one of the types of black box test case design techniques. So in
Mm-hmm.
the error guessing basically emphasizes on the analytical thinking of the testers.
Mm-hmm.
Whether the testers have any prior previous like experience in the testing, and or the testers can compare the product or the software, like there are some products in the market also, so we can do that one also, and
Mm-hmm.
um, what are the test cases are used in the previous past projects or software building. So it is basically emphasizes on the analytical thinking of a tester,
Mm-hmm.
like um,
Correct, correct.
the tester should have this quality
Mm-hmm.
to think beyond the requirement, beyond the like thinking as a end user, like
Mm-hmm.
if end user can access the application in any manner,
Mm-hmm.
that won't be according to the requirement only.
Right, right.
So the
Now,
tester should have that quality.
right. Now, which are the various factors that you will be using to guess the errors? Which are the various factors?
Various factors like I mentioned, um, um,
So one of the thing that you
can
already mentioned, yeah. So one of the thing that you already mentioned was, I think from previous past experiences, right?
previous past experience,
Right,
yes.
right.
And
Now,
also the tester can compare the product with the already launched products in the market.
absolutely, yeah.
So that should be also the factor we can improve our software, improve the quality and performance and reliability of our software, which we are building and which we are working on that.
Mhm. Right,
So
right.
that one,
Okay.
yes.
So these two reasons are good, but if this question is asked to you in a real-time interview, so what you can answer is, the errors basically can be guessed from the lessons that we have learned from the past releases. Let's say uh, today is, for example, Sunday. So you would have released in the last week, right? So at that time, or last month, so at that time there might be some bug that would have come in the production, right? So that lessons that we would have learned, okay, we released successfully from our side, we gave it a green signal, but then it came as a bug from. So that was one of the lessons that you would
I'm
have
sorry,
learned.
sir. Actually, I missed what you said. Actually, the power was fluctuating.
Okay, okay, no issues.
So
So let me
the video
repeat.
got stuck. Yes,
Okay, no issue. So
please.
let me repeat. So one of the instances that you can say, let's say currently in the July month, you would have released something, right? Now
Hmm.
from your side, you gave a green signal that this particular product is working fine, and
Hmm.
you are delivering a quality free product. But now there is some issue that comes up from the client side, from the customer side, right? And then you came to know, okay, no, this was a miss from our end, or from my team's end, or from my side, right? So that would be one
Hmm.
kind of a lesson that you would have learned, right? So this
Okay.
things you can note it down in maybe notepad, or you can actually create a test case or test scenario of such things, and then you can guess these kind of errors in the future releases also, right?
Okay.
Then second thing is about the tester's intuition. So there will be some intuition that would be coming on into your mind. No, no, this particular thing is not working fine, or this particular thing might not be working fine if you give such kind of inputs. So those things you can take.
Hmm.
Then production tickets, I think you covered that point, that whichever tickets are being raised in the production, those are one of the intuition. Then review checklist, right? So what is review
Review
checklist?
checklist.
Yeah, so we
Yes.
would be creating one sort of checklist on the basis of which that, okay, let's say I have this 20 to 25 items listed in one particular file, and these things should be working before the build goes out or before the release is done successfully. So those kind of checklist you can verify. Then you can also guess the errors through the previous test results. Let's say from last 15 days or last 20 days, you are getting some sort of errors. So based on those errors also, you can find out the new errors. Okay. Then various risks are there, or various kind of data permutations and combinations that we are using, right? General testing rules. These are the various factors on the basis of which you will be able to guess the errors. Okay. So this is fine. Okay. What do you mean by client server application? Hello, Palak,
Yes,
am I
sir.
audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Actually, your video was kept pausing. Maybe it's due
Oh,
to my internet connection.
okay. No
Yes.
issues. No issues.
Yes.
So what do you mean by client server application?
Client server application, basically it works as a there is a client machine or a server machine. So client would send a request that server will accept that request, and server will start working on that request, and whatever the customer has requested and what are the requirements of the customer, and according to that the server will uh, res- respond back to the client. So there would be a communication link or a medium from where the messages are exchanging, requesting and responding.
Okay. Okay. See, now client server application, I think you were giving answer with respect to maybe kind of user acceptance testing, that customer requirements are there and we need to fulfill them, right? But what is client server application? So I'll give you brief answer on this question. If this question is asked to you in a real time interview, so you can say that client server application is nothing but application would be running in two or more machines, right? So these
Okay.
applications are actually menu driven, and there will be limited kind of users, and the connection always exists, like, until you have to log in into some particular application, and then until you log out, so there will be some kind of token mechanism. But one would be the client and one would be the server. So server is actually a parent, and client you can consider as a child kind of. So there's
Child. Yes.
parent child relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, so this is client server application, right? There will be a hand in hand going on mechanism between the client and server. Whenever you do something in the client, let's say you upload some file from the client machine, so that file would be uploaded into a server machine, right?
Server
Download
machine.
something from the server machine to the client, so that will be downloaded into the client machine, right? Into your
Mm.
local machine or any VM that you are using, right? So that is client server application. Okay. Now, what is the difference between desktop application and web application?
Sorry, sir.
Yeah. What is the difference between desktop based application or Windows based application and web based application?
Um, Windows-based application is kind of the applications which are only suitable and which are only downloaded, can be downloaded and can be work on the Windows only. So Windows 10, 7 or XP, and then it can be like a platform, like every software or application has some guidelines or some things, like it can be downloaded in this one at this platform or version, so
Hmm.
that kind of thing.
So, okay. So
I,
desktop based application means application runs in a single memory, front end and back end, both are in one place only, right?
okay.
Right. Now, what is web based application?
Web-based application, like which we can those are the applications which the users can download it from the web, like from the internet.
Hmm.
It's present on the www dot
Hmm.
that world wide web. Any user can download it.
Yeah, no need to download that application, web-based
Uh-huh.
application. It is URL-driven application, right? So you can
Okay.
access the URL. For example, you can take an example of any e-commerce website, any web-based applications. Amazon.com is
Okay.
there, Flipkart.com is there. These are all the web-based applications, right? These are
Web-based
all
application.
URL-driven applications, right?
Okay.
Unlimited number of users can access it, and it can be accessed in disconnected mode, right? Applications run in two or more machines, so those are web-based applications.
Okay.
Okay, so if someone asks you what is the difference between desktop and this web-based application and client server-based application, so now is it clear with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, now what is the difference between smoke testing and sanity testing?
So, smoke testing and sanity testing, we can say that smoke testing is done at the at the early stage
Hmm.
of the SDLC, this testing part.
Hmm.
So smoke testing basically it verifies the basic and critical functionality of the system. So once the tester receives the build from the developer end, so they will start doing the smoke testing.
Hmm.
The main objective of smoke testing is to check the stability of the build, whether the build is acceptable or not.
Hmm. Hmm.
So before going into deep and regressive testing,
Hmm.
deeply and narrow testing,
Hmm.
so we perform the smoke testing. So smoke testing has some other names also, like it can be also considered as the build verification testing, confident testing,
Hmm.
every company has their own names. So like build verification testing, confident testing, dry run testing,
Hmm.
scum testing. It is also a kind of sanity testing, a part of also, and general health checkup
Right.
testing. and it is majorly it is conducted by the um, um, developers and testers both.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So,
sanity,
yeah. Please.
sanity is conducted by testers only. So
Mm,
sanity is basically emphasizes on the objective of the rationality of the build. Like once our software is stable,
mm,
after like 30-40 builds already tested, and already regression test cases are performed on the builds, so
mm,
then we go for the sanity testing. So
mm.
sanity testing is a kind of um, it's basically basically done like on a particular component, like um, um, like a specialized health checkup. Like the
Mm,
smoke was a general health checkup, and
mm,
that one is for particular one component, and it is conducted by the testers, and it is also known as the in this in sanity
mm,
we use the narrow and deep approach,
mm.
and whereas in the smoke we use wide and shallow approach.
Okay.
And smoke testing is basically um, well scripted
Mm,
and documented properly, whereas sanity is not documented, it's unscripted.
mm,
And while doing smoke testing, we perform the positive test cases.
mm,
So it is a kind of positive testing also. One of its name is also positive testing, and the sanity in sanity we perform positive as well as negative. And smoke is basically automated test cases can be performed, but
mm,
in the sanity not automated.
mm,
And sanity testing is a kind of sanity testing is a subset of acceptance testing,
mm,
or we can say the build verification testing.
mm.
And sanity is a subset of regression testing.
No, no. So sanity is a subset of regression testing,
Yes.
or are you sure?
Smoke,
Yeah.
yeah, smoke is a subset of acceptance testing.
Correct. Correct.
Yes.
Right.
Like
Now,
whether the build is acceptable or not.
correct. Okay. Now, let's say you receive a build, right, for testing. So, which testing will you perform first? Sanity testing or regression testing?
If it's a first build we are getting from the developer end,
Mm.
so we will perform the smoke testing.
Yeah. So, smoke testing you will be
Once our build is
performing.
stable,
Uh, yeah. So, let's say
like
you
some builds
perform
we have
smoke test.
already,
Yeah. Yeah. Please
sorry,
go ahead. Please go ahead. No, no. Please go ahead.
some builds we have already we have tested
Mm.
few builds. So once our system is stable,
Mm.
so then we go for the sanity testing, like deep and narrow testing.
Okay. So
We
you
go
mean to
deeper.
say, okay. So you mean to say you will perform smoke testing, that is fine, but you will perform sanity testing first before regression testing. Is that what you are telling?
Sanity testing before regression?
Mm-hmm.
Um, no, sir. Actually, smoke testing is a testing like
Yeah. So see, I'm asking about sanity testing. Which testing? Sanity and regression testing. Which testing will be done first? Sanity or regression testing?
um, regression.
Right, right. So regression
Regression.
testing, you will be performing
Because
first.
after performing some regression test cases on the builds,
Hmm.
and once our like software or application is trying to be more stable,
Mm-hmm.
so then we go for a at the
Sanity.
deeper level.
Yeah, the sanity
Yeah.
testing, right?
Yes.
So you will be performing regression testing first. Okay. Now,
Yes.
what is the difference between black box testing and white box testing?
Black box testing is a kind of testing in which the testers do not have any do not have the knowledge of internal structure or the implementation or the code, what is like what are the classes or functions are used while writing the codes. So the testers uh, like the internal structure is hidden from the testers. So testers will do only like getting the input and only um, checking out the output is as expected or not. So this is a kind of black box testing. And whereas in the white box testing, the testers do have the knowledge of internal implementation or structures. So white box testing is conducted by, or we can say performed by developers, because developers have the knowledge of the coding part, and what are the classes are used, functions have used. And black box testing is conducted by the testers. And black box testing has some other names also, like gray box testing, closed box testing, um, functional testing, behavioral testing, and opaque. And whereas for the white box testing, there are some different names, like clear box testing, glass box testing, transparent, translucent, and structural. Basically, white box is a structural based testing, and black box is a functional based testing, like
Correct. Correct.
behavioral. Yes.
Okay, fine. Now consider a scenario where you were downloading a file from network. Okay, you were downloading, let's say, some particular file of some particular size. You were downloading it from the web. Okay, now it all of a sudden your network got it disconnected. Right now, your file did not get downloaded. Right now, again you connect the network. Right, you come into the internet zone where the internet connectivity is good, and you try to again download that file. Now that file is not getting downloaded. So what would be the severity and what would be the priority of this defect?
um, Severity, the file has not been downloaded
Not been downloaded,
due
or
to
let's
the.
say, so see, I'll tell you the scenario again. See, you are
Yes.
trying to download some particular file. Okay. Now,
Okay.
for an instance, your laptop or your mobile, the internet connectivity went away. So your laptop, your mobile was out of the network zone. Okay. Meanwhile,
Okay.
during that time period when internet connectivity was good, so almost 55% of the file was downloaded. Now again you reconnect the internet. Right now, what you do is, when you see that process, it it direct, rather than starting from 56 percentage from downloading,
It's
it
from 0%.
starts again from 0%. Yeah, so
Zero
what would be
percent.
the severity and what would be the priority of this defect?
Um, Sir, I think it's a high severity
Hmm.
case, because
Hmm.
data can our data is almost lost. Like,
Hmm. So the
and
downloaded data is lost.
priority.
Yeah.
Yes, priority also should be like
Hmm.
higher.
Correct. Now what would be this type of testing called? This is fine.
This
Your
is a
answer is
kind of, sir.
hmm.
This is a kind of recovery testing.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah. So this is nothing but
Yes,
this is recovery.
recovery testing. Yes, like recovery testing is a kind of, like, if any
Hmm.
accident happens, like if any um, like um, like we took the example of internet connection or
Hmm.
power
Hmm.
loss connection, something is happens, then how your application recovers
Hmm.
from that crash,
Correct. Correct.
from that thing.
Absolutely. So this is a recovery testing scenario.
Yes,
What are
recovery
the
testing.
advantages? Yeah, what are the advantages of recovery testing? Why should we go for recovery testing? There is so much of time
There,
involved. You will be looking into these scenarios, and a lot of time would be consumed while trying to reproduce these scenarios before or on the developer's machine. So do you think, are there any advantages of recovery testing?
yes, yes, sir. Basically, there are number of advantages, like whether it's time-taking process, whether it's uh, time-consuming process, but still, like if we launch our software, if I launch our application to to the market, like end users. And if they are not able to download the application, if they are not able to access the files, access the data on the application, so there is no use of launching that application. We are putting our input, we are putting our money, our time, we are investing so many things, and the developers and testers, there are so many human resources are involved in that one. So if our application is not working fine, that it's not recovering from the crashes, it's not recovering from the any such incidents. It can happen in real time scenarios.
Right.
So there is no use of launching the application.
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
yes,
You are telling something? Yeah, please go ahead.
yes, if are getting users are facing the problems um, to downloading the file or fetching the data from the application. So that's not like
Right. So see, this answer is good. Adding to this answer, you can also mention the point is, nevertheless, it improves the quality of the system, right?
quality of the system.
Yeah. So in this way, the potential
Performance also.
performance, yes. Now the
Yes.
potential flaws in the system are eliminated. You can say are eliminated or are being taken care by doing recovery testing, right? Then performance is improved. Then recovery testing is also called as disaster recovery testing, right? So a lot of companies, a lot of clients, they recommend doing recovery testing because let's say tomorrow if any system damages or any failures are happening, so there should be some backup.
It can affect the business flow.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Business
So
flow.
that is why recovery testing is very important. Okay. Now let's say you got a build for testing. Okay. And you have found a defect as well, right? Now you have logged the defect into the defect management tool, but somehow the developer is not convinced with that particular defect. So he's rejecting your defect, or he's he went and he just deleted your defect from the defect management tool or rejected it. So how will you take care of such scenario, of such situation?
So that is the case of the defect is not reproducible from the developer's end. So there would be some uh, a mismatching, that platform mismatching maybe, or there should be some wrong implementation, or the test cases which are written by the testers are not written properly. There is there are some problems in the defect report.
The test cases which were written by the testing team were absolutely correct.
Yes,
You have found actually a valid defect. Now you have to convince the developer.
Okay.
So the defect
So
actually is valid. Yeah, please.
yes. So I will try to convince the developer by sending the defect report as well, and I will mention like what is the severity and priority of the defect. So there must be some that one platform maybe mismatching, like from the developer, and they are not getting that bug, but as a tester I am facing that bug. So I will discuss with the developer, and I will describe the developer like what is the severity or priority of that defect, and what's the reason, because it's causing again and again.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
So for this scenario, what you can do is you can, uh, take an access of the developer's machine or the VM in which he or she would be working, and you can try to reproduce the defect in their system itself.
In
Second
their
thing is,
system or not.
second thing is you can record the scenario when the defect is occurring, and then you can hand it over to the respective developer team, and you can involve your team manager, team leads as well, if
Okay.
the defect, as the defect is valid, right? Third thing is you can share the log files with the developers, right? Whenever such things are
Okay.
happening. So you can share the log files with the developers. Okay. So they will come to know, okay, at this particular scenario, for this particular data or for this particular screen, this issue is happening. So they will be able to do the root cause analysis in a quicker manner, right? Okay. Now consider you have got a Flipkart based e-commerce based application and you are supposed to test the payment gateway functionality or the feature that is there in the this e-commerce based website. So which will be the test scenarios on a very high level? You can tell how will you test from the positive testing and from the negative testing point of view this particular payment gateway options.
Okay. So if we talk about the test scenarios, like first we talk about the positive test cases.
Hmm.
So the test scenarios would be the sir, the user is already logged in and I have to
Hmm.
start from only the payment module
Yes, the
from that
payment
feature
gateway.
only.
Yeah, the
Yes,
payment gateway screen. Hmm.
payment gateway.
Hmm.
So there would be some options like net banking
Hmm.
and COD and
Hmm.
UPI. So there are various kind of that one options would be there. So I will try to first um, my things are already in the cart and I'm trying to do the payment. So
Hmm.
I will choose one by one option and I try to um, uh, first like I choose the net banking. So
Hmm.
I will try to put the valid informations
Hmm.
and I will try that if I'm getting the message
Hmm.
like OTP and secure like things. So after that it will take me to the another page like your payment has been successfully made and your order has been placed. So that one and so I will check one by one options
Hmm.
and for COD also
Hmm.
where there be an option for later payment or that one also. So I will check one by one that all the features of payment module.
Okay.
And if I talk about the negative ones, so
Hmm.
negative, I need to enter the wrong PIN or password for my banking transaction. So
Hmm.
I will check whether it gives me the that output, the pop-up will be shown like um, PIN is not correct, your password is not correct.
Hmm.
So that one and
Correct, correct. So various payment options like debit card, credit card, then
debit card,
UPI
credit card,
payment options are there.
UPI.
Cash on delivery you mentioned. Then in the negative testing you can cover if you enter the amount, that particular balance is not there in the card. So what is happening?
Balance is not
Or that card CVV you are entering incorrect while doing
incorrect.
internet banking payment. Then if the card is already expired, so those things also you can tell.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so that's it. Okay, Palak, I am done with the interview. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So I
Can you
think,
please give me like the feedback?
yeah, yeah, sure. So I think, see, from the testing, manual testing point of view, from the theoretical concepts, or from the testing test scenarios point of view, from the analytical perspective. So your interview was really good, right? You were able to find tell us various scenarios from various angles, right? Then you were able, your concepts are also clear, right? Now over here what you have to improve is you have to learn selenium automation, right? See, as a,
Selenium. Yes,
yeah.
sir. My next step is that one only.
Hmm. So
Yes.
try
I'm
to,
also preparing for SQL
yes.
and Java also.
Hmm.
And Selenium I will do
So your entire day you can
soon. I will
divide,
start.
correct. So your entire day you can divide, let's say 3 hours you give to selenium automation learning, 3 hours you can go for Java, 2 hours you can give for, applying for various jobs, right? That is also
Yes.
very important. You have to apply on various jobs. It won't be like, let's say you applied on one job and you got a call and you cleared the interview and you got a job, right? Things won't be that easy. So you have to pick out time specifically on various portals like LinkedIn is there, naukri.com is there, right? Then job portals, various job portals are there, so apply rigorously on those job portals. And on the parallel side, keep preparing, keep revisiting these concepts, revising these concepts of manual testing as well. Okay. Okay. Anything else from our end?
No, sir. Thank you so much for conducting my interview and giving me your precious time. Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Thank you, and all the best for your career. Yeah. So do let
Thank
us know
you.
once you get a job, and please, it would be great if you can share your success story also with us, so the entire community will be, getting
Yes.
motivated in that case. And if you
Yes.
give any interviews, so do share interview questions also with us. Right?
Yes, sir.
You can
Sure,
just
for sure.
drop me an email, and we will be creating videos on those interview questions as well.
Yes, sir. Sure. Sure.
Yeah. Thank you,
Okay.
and all the best.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Have a